Oh, hello. Welcome to another Tabletop Impulse video. This should be a pretty quick one. I just wanted to flag up the Kill Team Return to the Shadows Warhammer World Matched Play event that was announced yesterday over on Warhammer Community. And this is taking place on the 17th of December. Now I know that for many people watching the channel who live over in America or who live in Europe, visiting Warhammer World is a bit of a pipe dream, okay? But I think there are some things that are applicable to the general Kill Team community that we can learn from the way that the Warhammer World events team is running this event. Now, it's worth saying that the Warhammer World events team is not the same as the people who write the rules and make the big decisions about the game. They are a separate, obviously they have contacts and they do talk presumably to each other, but they are a separate team that makes separate decisions about what's best for Warhammer World events. Even so, I do think there are some conclusions that we can draw from what they've put out in their pack. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole pack, because if you've watched any of my previous videos about Warhammer World events, most of the pack hasn't changed in terms of the painting standards and everything else. But there are two key things that I'd love to talk about in this video. The first one is it's back on a Saturday and they're doing 4 rounds. So if you are someone who either follows my tournament reports or who has been attending Warhammer World Kill Team events, that you will know the very first Warhammer World Kill Team event was on a Saturday, and it was 4 rounds. Since then, they've moved them to Sundays, and they've been 3 rounds. And this causes a lot of consternation in the community. Nearly every time I mention Warhammer World on my channel, someone will come along in the comments and say, yeah, but they're only 3-round tournaments, so they don't count. And the basic bone of contention is in 3 rounds with 30 plus players, it's pretty easy for someone to score really highly in the ranking and never have played the best player. Because if you think about it, if you have 2 friends who neither of them are particularly good at Kill Team, they could turn up to an event and play each other, right? They could be drawn against each other in the first round. And then you'll have one of those people with a win, and then they could easily play another person in the second round who was in the same situation as them. That's not beyond the realms of possibility. And then by the 3rd round, the final round, right, they could have won both their games and had 2 very easy games. So people generally think that it takes kind of 4 rounds for the rankings to really shake out. So it's really positive, I think, for the community that it's gone back to 4 rounds, and it means when we're discussing the results in the new year, people won't have to put that caveat of, oh, but of course, yes, I know that, Compendium Greenskins won, but you have to remember it's only 3 rounds, or whatever it is that we're saying. So I think that's great for the community and for wider discourse around the game. And it also means those of us who are hoping to attend the tournaments will get to play 4 rounds instead of 3, and more Kill Team is better, I think. We're going to have a little look at the schedule, because it is different. They've moved it to Saturday. So registration opens at 9 o'clock. They give you between 9 to 10 to register and order some breakfast from Bugman's Bar. You get a bacon roll or whatever it is that you might like. 10 to 10:15, they open the hall, and then so 10 to 10:15, realistically, people will start playing their first round straight away. And be setting up while the briefing's going on. The briefing's just like, oh, the fire exits are here, and so on and so forth. Round 1 is 10:15 till 12, and then there's lunch for an hour. The lunch is usually pretty good, and it is included in the ticket price, so you do pay £35 for the privilege of going to Warhammer World, but you do get a lunch included in that, which makes it not so bad. There'll be a painting competition as well, so that's an hour there, and then they give you the next round, again, an hour and 45 for all the rounds, which is pretty standard for Warhammer World, and then a half an hour break between rounds 2 and 3, and between rounds 3 and 4, and then at 7:45 everything closes and you head home. So pretty good, pretty chill day, lots of time to kind of relax and decompress, and I'm sure spend money in their in the shops, the Games Workshop and the on-site Forge World store as well, I'm sure. But it's really good that they've gone back to giving us, the Kill Team players, the Saturday slot and running 4 rounds. Really good. What else is interesting is right here it says next to missions, it's the Critical Operations Missions Pack from the Kill Team core book. So it's not Into the Dark. So Into the Dark is going on pre-order tomorrow, and Zimbad and I, we talked about this kind of a week or so ago, and we were saying, oh, you know, what's going to happen with Into the Dark and tournaments and events. We both assumed the next Warhammer World event would be full on Into the Dark. Not that I'm particularly advocating that events should be all 4 rounds Into the Dark, but we just kind of assumed that the next Warhammer World one would be, because they want to show the product off. They want people excited to go and buy their own sets, and they've got the factory right there, so they can just go and have, you know, 15 Into the Dark terrain kits. They don't have to, unlike every other venue in the country, they don't really have to pay for their kits. But they're not doing it. They're going to the core book. So let's talk about that. How worried should we be that Games Workshop are sticking to the shadows? You get it because it's called Return to the Shadows versus Into the Dark. I thought that was really clever. If you think it was clever, please subscribe to the channel. If you don't think it was clever, please don't unsubscribe from the channel. There we go. So there could be a lot of reasons behind the decision to stick with the Season 1 Kill Team format, which I still haven't come up with my preferred name for. Like open world Kill Team, I don't know. Normal confines, I don't know. Season 1 format, sure. Now, there's a lot of reasons it could be. Maybe they can't find the staff time to build and paint 20 tables into the Dark Terrain. You know, they do have full-time staff and a full-time hobby team that create the tables and things for all the events. But maybe they have other things they need to be doing with them, and they can't find the time to get that painted up and done. That's possible. They could be that they feel the core book missions are more accessible. So this is Zimbad's theory. Like, everybody knows how to play the core book missions. And so it's more accessible for people to come along and join in. If they ran Into the Dark, you would either be limiting it to people who've already bought the giant box set and to get the rulebook, or I think what might be more likely to happen, in fact, is you get a lot of people turning up to give it a go, which is kind of annoying from a tournament organiser's point of view, because you don't necessarily want to spend your entire tournament teaching people how the close quarters confines work. You know, at the very first Kill Team event, there were definitely people who turned up, never played Kill Team before, and had turned up to give it a go. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm quite an advocate for people using tournaments as their kind of test setting to get into a game. But I have a feeling, and we don't know, we know less than we think we do, I think, about what the close quarters confines rules are going to be. Maybe that Games Workshop just doesn't want people turning up and going, what's this close quarter confines stuff? But however, it could be, and this is a bit negative, but I feel like I have to say it, it could be that the Warhammer World events team feel that the game in close quarters confines is less competitive, and that people have a better time in open world Kill Team. Now, that has me a little worried. It does have me a little worried, only because I kind of think there's reality has a bias towards the status quo, right? People, generally speaking, will be biased towards the status quo. And so I think there's a real risk that people are going to look at Into the Dark and go, well, that's cute, but we've been playing on Octarius since the game launched. We want to keep playing on Octarius because that's the game that we know and love. And I feel like if Games Workshop themselves, through their own events team, are not going to advocate for Into the Dark as a matched play competitive tournament, you know, thing, who, you know, is that gonna risk people viewing it as, well, this is a fun narrative expansion, but if you really care about the game and playing the best version of the game and trying to win, you're gonna keep playing on Octarius. I don't know. I don't want to be too alarmist. I mean, a little bit alarmist because it gets views, but I don't want to be too alarmist because hopefully everything will work itself out in the end. I know a lot of the independent tournament people are thinking of doing Into the Dark alongside open world stuff. I really need to get leave my comfort zone and enter and go into some kind of independent tournament and not just a Warhammer World one. There's something really compelling about going to Warhammer World in that, because it's almost a Disney World, right, of tabletop wargaming, in that you know for a fact that if somebody is being, if somebody is not behaving themselves, then that they're going to be ejected from Warhammer World. They're going to be kind of told, you know, that's not on. We have lots of staff, we have security, we have a corporation here, and we want to present a certain kind of family-friendly image. Whereas when you go to and this is always my worry, when you go to an independent event, you don't know who's in the group where this is their local, you know, establishment, and they know the guy that runs the store, and they can get away with whatever they want to get away with. I'm probably me being paranoid, but I do think Warhammer World events, by the nature of their kind of corporate gloss, are more accessible in a way. Again, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments, and if there's a particular, bear in mind I'm in Essex, I'm in the south, and I'm not going up to Element Games on a random weekend, okay? But if there's a particular independent tournament scene that you think is quite friendly and welcoming in the UK, preferably in the south somewhere, let me know that in the comments as well, okay? Right, that's it. I told you it was going to be a short video. So, yes, Zimbad and myself will be making an appearance at Returns of the Shadows, assuming that we can get tickets. The tickets always sell out really quickly for these kind of events, and Eventbrite usually crashes, and it's always a bit of a nail-biter. So far, there's only one Kill Team event that I've struggled to get, that I failed to get tickets for. I managed to get them for all the other tournaments, so hopefully that works out. Mrs. T, I can't make it. Obviously, we will have a very young newborn baby in December, but I have been given permission to go out for that day with Zimbad and leave her with the new baby home, so that's nice for me. Not so nice for Mrs. TI, but there we go. I would recommend it to anybody who's even Kill Team curious. Like, the Warhammer World events are always a great day out, and if you've never been to Warhammer World, especially if you're in the UK, going on the same day as one of these events for a game that you enjoy and play, it's the best way to experience Warhammer World, in my opinion. Especially if you can get there kind of lunchtime the day before and wander around and soak up the atmosphere, and then the next day you're there, you stay overnight, the next day you're there for the tournament, that kind of thing. That's pretty cool. I'm working the Friday before, so we won't be doing that this time round. It's in fact the last school day before the Christmas holidays. I know, I'm always on holiday. I'm going to get some hate now in the comments for that, but so the 16th is the last day before the Christmas holidays, so this will be a really nice start to the Christmas period. Oh my gosh, hype for tomorrow. It's the big day tomorrow, so I will be going out early to get to my local Warhammer store before 10 o'clock to get my pre-orders in on the store computer, because, as discussed, it's also the store's birthday, and I'm getting mountains of free stuff. If you aren't in that position, where your local Warhammer store is having its store anniversary, and a few of you probably are, please do consider Element Games for your Into the Dark pre-orders tomorrow morning. This will be my last chance to remind you. So, you know, it really does help the channel out. It's a really great way that you can support the channel without really inconveniencing yourself at all, because, you know, they're one of the best. For customer service, they're the best friendly little gaming store there is in the UK. I don't recommend them just because I get paid to recommend them, although I do, to be clear, get 5% back everything you spend on my link, to be transparent. But, you know, they are 10 minutes down the road from where my in-laws live. I go over to their physical location 4 or 5 times a year. I know that they are great for customer service, and they are highly recommended. So please do bear that in mind. Alright, folks, and yeah, I'll have some videos up eventually tomorrow. It will be like in the afternoon, evening time, when I've watched all the other men with books go through all the things. I will probably get out my own thoughts on, you know, at least one of the 4 new teams or something like that. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff. If you think about it, this is the biggest single content drop we've ever had for this game. We're getting 4 brand new teams, and not just the box missions of we usually get. We get like a set of spec ops missions. We're getting a new suite of core missions. We're getting the close quarters confines rules themselves, and then in the annual we're getting another suite of multiplayer missions and another suite of last stand missions. So that's a lot of stuff. But I will have, I'm sure, at least one video out tomorrow in the afternoon, evening time. So look out for that. All right, I have rambled enough this morning. I'm off to go and get ready, head off to work and enjoy what is also my birthday today. But I'm going to work to spend time working. So good, good. Don't often have to teach on the 2nd of September, but this year, yeah. All right. See you guys. Have a great day, whatever it is that you're doing. Cheery, cheery, bye.